Hi, good evening. My name is Marvin. I am an upcoming junior at Summit Prep Charter High School. And for my main project, I decided to recreate the first wearable technology for the visually impaired. Basically, what the third eye for the blind does is helps the visually impaired guide themselves without the use of another person, service dog, cane, or any other method. Quick demo. I can switch between the motor and the buzzer as well, so you can't really see the motor, but it's vibrating right now. Alright, so how my third eye for the blind basically works is by the ultrasonic sensor transmitting an ultrasonic wave, and when it hits an object, for example my hand, it will start vibrating. Another quick demo. So as I get closer to, say my hand gets closer to the ultrasonic sensor, it'll start vibrating or buzzing at a higher rate. Okay. Alright, so one of the key components on my project would be the microcontroller. The microcontroller basically combines all my parts and makes them work in a unified form. Another crucial part in my project would be the actual ultrasonic sensor. Like I said before, it works by transmitting an ultrasonic wave, and when it hits an object, the wave bounces back and the receiver receives the data. Another thing that I would like to add would be one of the following modifications that I included in my project, which was adjusting the band to my wrist and adding another ultrasonic sensor. So basically in the original project, I noticed that the user was constricted from various actions, and it seemed really uncomfortable since the actual module was on the palm of the hand. Therefore, I decided to move it down to my wrist, where it wouldn't constrict the hand from any certain action. And then I also decided to add another ultrasonic sensor so that it would have a 270-degree range of motion rather than just solely 180 degrees. I also try to take in hand human bipedalism, which is basically how humans walk. And this goes unnoticed, but when you walk, you actually sway your arm a bit. Therefore, I tried incorporating this so that the user wouldn't be constricted and they wouldn't have to extend their hand to guide themselves. All in all, we took various lessons in my BlueStamp experience, and I learned a lot about my passion. One being that it's not about the end result, but rather the progress throughout and how you overcome the various obstacles that you face and how you learn from it. For example, I burned 2 PCB boards before actually having my third one working, and I had a lot of trouble desoldering and soldering since my space was limited and my board was really small. I had to be really precise with my soldering iron and the solder. I also learned that to never give up on myself and just keep on pushing forward regardless of the situation. Regardless, thank you.
Any questions for Marvin?
What inspired you to make this project?
Well, before I wanted to do an aquaponics system, but then I decided to do this because I've always had a passion for helping people, like especially like if you're visually impaired, that's a really big setback, but you got to see throughout the positive side, and I find that it can have a lot of potential, and it can potentially help a lot of people that are visually impaired, and I can't say it'll fix their problem, but it will for sure help them with their impairment.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Did you also think of putting one on the leg so that it will swing?
Yeah, in the original project they had it in the legs, but you would have to connect it to the actual external battery, and I found that it would be constricting. And but therefore I can actually create that and add a LiPo battery to it. So yeah.
Do you think you can add like an audio jack so that only the user can hear it and it doesn't like involve other people?
Yeah, I was thinking of that as well, but I think with the vibrating motor, it can instead of like making a lot of noise, it would just vibrate on their hand. But I think I can add moving forward, I can add like a lot of modifications, like a heart rate monitor, also like a GPS tracking in case the person gets lost in any situation, and yeah, also adding a casing. So.
Quick question here.
Yeah.
Ultrasonic is directional, I think, right?
Yeah.
You need to point at the direction. So probably make better sense for the device to be mounted on your eye, because you always face the directional motion.
Yeah, I was
so you don't have a point.
There was a project beforehand that had it on the glasses, but I was deciding on doing that, but since you have to add like these various components, I didn't really know where I would adjust the components.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's definitely possible. Any other questions? Thank you.